You asked me to do something funny and interesting, and I said I can run while hula hooping. But it's been a while, so
Okay.
like don't
We'll try
quote
it.
me on that,
we'll
even though
try
you
it.
are quoting me on this. Gotta get it going first. Got like a nice solid hula hoop. You start with walking. And then
That's awesome.
I know that my body is like convulsing while I do that, so.
Good morning and welcome back to Coffee Time with Dave. Hope you're doing well. I'm here with the lovely Hannah Bridge.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm great. I just want to tell you though that it's not the morning anymore.
Don't tell them that.
Okay.
It's
Sorry. So sorry.
Anyway, so let's just get into this. I'm going to interview Hannah about her trip to Paris. She went on a missions trip with my church, well, you just went on your own, basically. So why did you go to Paris for this missions trip? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we go to a Christian Missionary Alliance church, and the broader denomination of that has this organization called Envision, and they do these missions internships all around the world in different countries, where you go for a varying amount of time, and basically you work under the long-term missionaries and learn what that's like and get mentored by them, and then also participate in ministry in whatever country. So originally I wanted to go to North Africa and then that fell through, thankfully, because that would have not been as good. So Envision reached out to me and they said, hey, you should go to Paris. And I was like, darn. No, I was very excited.
Yeah.
Because I took French in high school, and I visited Paris last year on vacation and loved it. And so I was like, yeah, I could see myself being here.
Nice.
So that's kind of why Paris. But I took a gap year, basically, this past year.
Me too.
Yes. We both did that. And
That's how this show came about.
yeah, and I stayed home working for a long time and fundraising, and then I was in France for 2 months. Yeah, and I got back about 2 months ago.
Is it 2 months now?
I know, isn't that weird? It feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I have dreams about it a lot.
Nice.
But yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, you got to go to Paris.
Yes.
Some people get to do that. I haven't been able to go out of the country.
You'll get there
but I'll
someday.
get there. Yeah. Do you want to talk about what you did in Paris?
Yes.
What exactly was your role on this missions trip?
The work that Envision Paris does is very relational. So we weren't building schools for starving children or anything like that. Basically, we would hold these English conversation groups for people that were looking to perfect their English or learn more conversationally. So it wasn't like a classroom setting, but it was a very casual hangout situation where we would have groups of people come, and then we would have a topic of conversation, and the interns, which would be me, would lead the people through different conversations. And then we would, with those people, have other fun events. So we would have game nights. I organized a Star Wars themed night for May the 4th.
Oh my gosh.
Which was very intense. But yeah, so it was just a lot of event planning and hanging out with these people and doing the English groups and getting mentored a lot. It was a lot of self-awareness stuff, which I'm all for. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was really cool. And the groups, because I never really thought about this, but Paris is a really international city. So the people that would come were from all over the world, every corner of the earth, which was really cool just to get to know them and their stories.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Okay, welcome back. We're here celebrating Christmas in July because, well, we miss Christmas. Isn't that right, guys?
Oh, yes. I love Christmas. It's my favorite time of year.
Yeah, I love Christmas, but you always have to wait till the end of the year for it to happen. So we decided to have Christmas in July.
In the middle of the year, because we can't wait 6 more months.
Oh. I can't.
6 months, forget it.
I got some iced hot chocolate with peppermint. Do you want to have that to celebrate?
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
That's very Christmassy. Yeah, why don't you do that?
All right, I'll be right back. Hello. I got a call from Dave.
Charlotte.
Yes, I'm Charlotte Grounds. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Oh, have I met you before? I have no idea. Anyway, I got a call from Dave to celebrate Christmas in July because I love Christmas in July, don't you know? I love Christmas in general. I've solved many mysteries around Christmas time. So what are we doing here?
We're just having fun. It's a double Christmas this year.
It's a double Christmas. That's very nice. So how did you preach the gospel to people in Paris with all the things you were doing? Like, what's a way that you did that?
Yeah. So,
Because that's the basic goal.
yeah. So obviously the goal of a mission, well, maybe not obviously, I don't know.
Most of
Missions is for the expansion of the kingdom of God and for spreading the gospel and spreading the love of Jesus. In countries, like most European countries, are very cold towards Christianity. They kind of have this mentality that like, oh, we've been there, done that, we're over it. They're very philosophical, they're very deep thinkers, but they don't want anything to do with Christianity. So if we were to go and very boldly, maybe not boldly isn't the right word, but like to just flat out be like, here's the Bible, like, you sinner, like, that would not work. That doesn't work in most most circumstances.
That's the worst way to do it.
Yes, take notes, children. But yeah, so basically, like, what our mission was to build relationships with people, to build friendships, to get to know them, to learn from them as they potentially learn from us. And so it was all about, like, getting to know the person's heart and like actually caring about them and not just seeing them as like a project or a number or something like that. So, which is awesome, and I love that, but it's also very slow work. It's not the type of missions where you have like hundreds of people accepting Christ. But I mean, there's small victories and it's exciting. But a lot of it too is like people don't trust the Christian church anymore, and so it was like by being someone's friend and they know that you're Christian, they start to slowly trust that community that they may not have before. It's a lot about like building awareness and educating people on like what are we actually doing, like who are we?
I know you've grown a lot from this missions trip, and you've been asked, how have you grown before from this missions trip? I mean, it's been 2 months now. What part of the growth has stuck through for 2 months now?
It's weird because it was really hard coming home. I had learned so much about myself, so much about God, and so it was really weird coming home and having to like apply that to my life here because it's just such a different environment. Now I'm at 2 months, and the things that have really, really stuck with me are, one, I have like such a greater, deeper understanding of how big our God is. Like being able to see his work on like an international level. I feel like we're so close-minded as Americans, and it's so easy for us to believe that Christianity is really working in the United States, but like we don't realize what God is doing outside of the United States. And so like to be able to see that broader picture, like I really believe that God is like bringing people to Paris, to an international city, for them to hear the gospel and then take it home to their countries where it's like illegal there, So I don't know, I just have like a deeper understanding for the magnitude of God. So that, and also like I've talked about this a lot, but I think it's really important, is that it's really easy when you're doing a trip like this or anything really, to make it about yourself and to like get caught up in the tangible things. And like I was really concerned with how I was going to be used and what my ministry was going to look like, and I had a very clear picture. I thought that I was going to get really close to some woman and like bring her to Christ, or I don't know, but it didn't happen like that. And it's a very humbling experience, but it's so important to remember that like it's not about us, it's about God. And so that's like a constant reminder where I'm like, whoa, take it down a notch. Like it's so easy to be prideful and to be really self-focused in our faith.
So thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, everyone, there's more where that came from. Next week, I'm going to put even more of the footage that we recorded. This is kind of part 1 of the interview I did with her. So thank you for watching, and thank you, Hannah, for being on the show.
How do you like our Christmas tree?
Oh, it's very nice. It's nice and golden, I would say.
Yes.
You know, I have a very good idea. Let me take a closer look at this tree.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's take a look here. Oh, yeah.
Hey, be careful with that magnifying glass. It might start.
Oh,